term that many different people have different opinions on. No matter your opinion though, feminism is about the equality of the genders, and that's a fact. The article that I have chosen to write about is the philosophy of feminism inculcated among women in the workforce. This article gives information about feminism throughout the years, ever since the first time that feminism was recorded. It was written by Kansa Imam, Shazia Rahim, and Rakisana Raza, all of which are PhD scholars from the Department of Education from the University of Sargodha. When women first entered the workforce in the 19th century, they were faced with many different discriminations just because of their gender. Still today, women experience different discriminations in the workforce. The subject of feminism has always been an important topic to me. Women faced many different trials and tribulations in the past so that me and other women of today could have all of the luxuries that we have, such as voting and many other different basic rights. The point of this article is to investigate working women's perception on feminism. In this speech, I will be covering 4 different topics: the early feminism, the 3 waves of feminism, liberal feminism, and the study that was covered in the article. First, I will talk about early feminism and early feminist movements. Feminism has been around for much longer than you may think. Women faced many different struggles and obstacles to be considered a productive member of society. They were denied basic human rights because of their gender. They were considered inferior to men in every way possible. But when the concept of feminism was introduced, everything changed. The first time that feminism was used was in France in the 1880s. A woman by the name of Henriette Auclert was the first to use the term. She wrote it in her journal. About how she was criticizing male supremacy and promoting women's rights. Most of the early feminists fought for basic rights that we have today, such as owning property, going to school, and full citizenship. Next, I'll talk about the 3 waves of feminism. The history of feminism can be divided up into 3 different waves. The first wave of feminism was from the 1870s to the 1920s. The wave was focused mainly on obtaining the right for women to vote and gaining complete citizenship in America. Women's political reform movement is what this is labeled as. The second one goes from the 1960s to the 1970s. It is labeled as the Women's Awareness Movement. The Women's Liberation Movement. This movement was based among women, giving them more power and bringing awareness to sexual assault and domestic violence against women and victims of these things. The third wave was in the early 1990s. Feminists during this wave were able to use technology to their advantage and go on the radio and on television to broadcast about feminism. They worked to get rid of sexist terms aimed at young women and older women. The third that I will talk about is liberal feminism. Liberal feminism is about providing freedom to women regarding social roles. Liberal feminists have made big progress with removing patriarchal laws. Liberal feminists put equality for women before the law. It also helps with equal work for equal pay. This is an issue that is still happening in our society today, even though many don't realize it. There is a big wage gap in women doing the same job as men, but the men getting paid more, just because they're men and not women. But another thing liberal feminism is for property rights for women. Women today can buy their own property and live on it without a man's help. Lastly, I will discuss the actual study that was conducted in this article. The study being conducted in this last part of the article is seeing different views from different women in the workforce and on feminism. First, women were asked if they considered themselves feminist. 15 out of 20 women considered themselves feminist. Of those that claimed not to be feminist, one said, "No, I don't want to be called a feminist. I want to be called a human." The second thing that they were asked was, do you think feminist philosophy has developed in you the general desire for gender equality? 25 people said that they do think that awareness for feminism and gender equality has been very aware. Another thing that was asked was, do you think feminism philosophy has led to freedom of choice? Of 30 women, only 15 agreed that it has. The other 15 did not. The ones who did agree claimed that if a woman wants to be a successful lawyer or doctor or businesswoman or whatever she might want to be, that she has the right to become that or whatever she would like to be. In conclusion, the article that was written to give people information about understanding the history of feminism and how feminism is inducted today. The feminist movement has helped women all over the world gain the rights that they deserve. It shows everyone that women are more useful than just for cooking, cleaning, and reproduction. Thanks to the feminist movement and the brave women who took a stand to fight for our rights, women can now have jobs, own their own land, vote, and many other things that at one time were only allowed to men. Though we have come a long way from where we were, there are still miles to go to ensure complete gender equality and full rights for women to other countries especially. This article taught me many things that I already didn't know about feminism. It is very helpful in educating on the history of feminism and how feminism is still working today. I pray for the rest of the world to embrace feminism and equality, and that other women in other countries could someday come to have the rights that we do. Thank you.
That was really good.
So nice.
It was a good topic.
That's too long.